Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 22 of the Skeletons Podcast. And today we're actually going to be talking about my trip that I was going to try to talk to you about in the last episode. So I do have another trip coming up soon towards the end of October during Halloween time. And we're actually going to be going back to California, which is going to be California trip number 2 with my friends. And that one I'm actually really excited for, that I'm actually counting the days as well as like really trying to plan my money and stuff like that too as well. Like it's hard that trying to plan out for this trip, but this is one of the trips I know that I'm gonna have so much fun to have at this point, and it's so exciting to go back to California, especially with all my friends again too as well. And it's basically we're just gonna be going down to basically have fun, look around, have 2 days of free days just to look around certain parts of California, like a little Tokyo, at least down there. We're also going to be going to Disneyland again for Halloween, and California Adventures and Disneyland. And then we're also going to be going to Universal Studios, and this time I will definitely be going to freaking Halloween Horror Nights, which is going to be so fucking cool to see. So that's basically just a very short version of the trip that's going on. It's going to be going from the 28th to the 1st. I may have a pre-recorded podcast for that time. At least, if anything, I'll put one out for that week, since I'll be leaving on that Tuesday and I won't be coming back till that Sunday. And the next week podcast after that trip, I may actually do a follow-up trip, or like may recount the details on that trip, everything too as well. And I'm sure that a long-time listeners, especially from the very beginning, knows. And if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Steph125. You'll know that I've taken almost like 3 years since that last California trip back in 2022, I think. That I want to say 2022, 2023. It's taken me 2 to 3 years just trying to get that whole vlog out for 6 days at this point. And of course, this time it won't take that long. It actually will be a lot shorter. So hopefully, and I'm still trying to get at least the Ren Fair one out and everything too as well before that trip, so at least I'll be ready by the time we leave. But I'm definitely going to be vlogging that whole trip again as well as usually, and this time I actually do have a new addition to the equipment that I have. So not only I'll still be using my my phone as well, basically, but I actually went and got a new camera, which is the Insta360 3S, I want to say is what it is. But sorry, Insta360 Go 3S, and it's basically a very small camera. It's from the same guys that does the 360 360 view cameras. But this one I'm gonna have with me, and I already tested it out with the Santa Fe Ren Fair when I went to check it out to see how it looks, and especially to see how it feels. So basically, it's gonna be mostly used for rides and stuff that I really wanted to check out beforehand. And basically, it's more for the fact that because I noticed, especially when I was editing the California trip from before, that I've had noticed that I slowly decreased my recordings, especially on the rides that I wish I could have freaking Incredicoaster was one of them. I still wanted to try out freaking Cars. I did record some of it, but not all of it because I was mostly on my phone. There was also any of the rides from Universal that I wanted to record, especially the Jurassic Park ride. The Jurassic Park ride was really cool at that point, and just any Universal ride. I did record the tram ride, of course, because that was actually really cool to have to try out. And basically, it's more for putting it on my hat to get my own personal view, or my own POV view. So at least then you guys can see what we see online, and of course hearing our screams and stuff too as well. So, and plus also it'll at least free up my hands to actually able to enjoy the ride too. So I'm not holding up my phone, going around and kind of trying to get every single angle. So at least you'll see what I see at this point too as well. So that's one of the newest things I have, and plus I will have I might buy a new SD card to hold in the any extra memory, because I know I'm definitely going to be losing a lot of memory, at least on it. And if not, I'm going to be emptying out my my phone memory too as well, just so I can have that, so I can transfer the whatever's on the Insta360 onto my phone, and at least able to have space so I can record any and all the rides. And plus, I do have the hat accessories to where I can have it on top of my hat, or especially on the high intense ride, like the Incredicoaster, as I said, like any roller coasters that we're going to be on. I have the necklace one where you can put it on your chest, and actually it will like record from your chest angle too as well, just because of especially like with those high intense ride. I'm afraid, and I'm sure they probably won't let you have hats on there. Um, who knows at this point? I'll check and see the riders that comes off from it. But I will be riding on those rides with the Insta360. So at least this time there will be more footage of the rides that we go on. Also, for going through the haunted houses too as well. I don't know what if they may take me out for it or not, but I'll basically be trying to see if I could get some footages from it at least. If not, it'll be very small snippets. But also it'll be post October 31st, so there won't be like too much restriction on it. So we'll see from that, if anything, too as well. But yeah, I'm so excited. If you can tell from my voice right now, like I'm so excited for this trip. Like I've been especially for Halloween Horror Nights, I've been wanting to go to Halloween Horror Nights so much. Like I still regret like not going to the last one, because the last one had Killer Clowns from Outer Space as one of the haunted houses, which was brought back for the second time at this point. And that is one of my favorite B movie like horror that I love. That I was scared as a kid, of course, watching it, which is funny story. I remember still like clearly to this day when it was I think Halloween time too as well, that they were showing, like it was during Friday. It was either Friday or Thursday night. I think it was Thursday night when SmackDown used to be on there. And I remember going to like seeing a little bit of Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and I was so scared from it that I actually went flipped from that one and flipped it to Thursday night SmackDown. And even then didn't help too, that like I was, because of I was like little still, like probably like maybe elementary school and stuff like that too as well, that I was still scared of the Undertaker's like bell ringing for his entrance song. So I've been so scared of that, and literally switching back and forth of getting scared of both the clowns and then getting scared of the Undertaker's theme. Like it was such a crazy like back and forth that I didn't know what channel to stay on, and I think I might have just switched over to one channel for a little bit, then went back to SmackDown and watched it at that point. But yeah, that was probably the last one I wanted to like one. But I do still have some of the posters that from that trip that I've been there that I was really excited about, and I'm so glad at least I was able to be there to see at least what the houses and what some of the like little like scare zones and stuff that they have right there. But this year I'll definitely will be going to Halloween Horror Nights for this year, because this year is so stacked up on the haunted houses that it looks really cool. So some of the IPs that they have going on for this year is basically Fallout, the Fallout universe, Five Nights at Freddy's, the WWE Wyatt universe, or the Bray Wyatt, like the Wyatt 6, or was it? I think it is the Wyatt 6 that they have. They have two or three original houses. One was the Scarecrow. I think that one was the one that was by Slash, music by Slash. Oh, they also have a Friday the 13th as well too. They have Terrifier as well, and they have a like a Spanish like themed haunted house too as well, like almost like a La Llorona, I think, if I remember correctly. But basically, like those are the houses that they announced this year that's going on right now at this moment too. And some of the haunted houses that they have is pretty cool, or haunted houses, sorry, scary zones that they have is pretty cool too as well. That I'm so excited to see what they have in store for us this year. And I'll tell you though, like it's still one of my bucket list items of just going to a Halloween Horror Nights, because I've been over the years I've been so like curious on the horror aspect of Halloween Horror Nights, because there's always like big what do you call it, like big events that happens that I know of, that of course in the US that happens. So it's Halloween, Christmas, 4th of July are like the three big like US like US holidays, I want to say, that's celebrated that everybody will enjoy. And of course there's nothing big for 4th of July. Well, not even fucking 10 minutes in of the fucking episode. It's already cutting off at this point. This is a bunch of bullshit. God damn it. Oh my god. So, still, I don't know how. I need to figure out why my freaking US thing, my freaking my thing's going on stupidly at this point. Anyway, there's some big. I was gonna say like there's 3 big holidays, as I said, that was big in the U.S. 4th of July, Halloween, and basically Christmas at this point. And each one is really big on its own. And basically, each one has their own major event that goes on at this point. Like, especially 4th of July is one big one for fireworks and stuff like that, too, that I'm sure you probably heard at this point. And, like, literally, yeah, as I said, have you heard? Halloween is another big one because everybody goes into it. Like, literally, the decorations I seen, like, especially with me being in retail, the earliest we seen for Halloween and, like, for Halloween candy is probably towards the end of July to beginning of August. That is how early they start celebrating Halloween, at least in the States at this point. And even then, too, as well, like, Christmas is also a really big event too, that like we start getting stuff for Christmas stuff, I think probably towards middle of September. I want to say the earliest I think I want to say is like maybe early September, late August is the earliest I seen a Christmas decoration, which is insane how that's a thing. But well, I mean, well, people are really insane at this point. So, but for Halloween though, like it's probably maybe my favorite holiday. Second would be maybe Christmas, or it's a tie between Christmas and 4th of July at this point. And basically, it's Halloween has always been intriguing to me just because of just the horror in it, that like, because I was really scared of horror movies and stuff like that too as well. I never really got into horror, but it wasn't until like later on when I started growing up that I kind of started to appreciate horror and the stuff that goes into it, especially the filmmaking process of it all. That like, and especially the whole stories that goes behind it, like just and the different type of genres that goes on, that I'm really intrigued about it. And I don't know when I started getting, I think it might have been during pandemic time, like ironically, of course, everything starts like when I started fully going into, no, it probably was before that too as well. But anyway, it was sometime during the last decade that I started really getting into Halloween Horror Nights like aspects at this point. And I've been really trying to get, I've been really been watching videos on Halloween Horror Nights from both Universal's Hollywood and Universal Florida, and as well as like learning some of the other Hollywood other Halloween stuff like Not Scary Farm and Not So Scary this Halloween Party at Disneyland. But like it's, I think the most intriguing one out of all of them, as I said, would be the Halloween Horror Nights event at Universal, because they have such a really rich history from its humble beginnings to its very like current iteration of it, especially from the early years in the early 90s, early to late 90s, and then before they like stopped for a bit and then came back up again, to basically like where they had the icons era, where they have their own specialty icon, like basically Jack the Clown, freaking Chance, or Jack's assistant Chance, and different type of icons for each year that basically shows off their own history at this point. But of course, as I said, like the main person that like heads, that everybody knows if you know the Halloween Horror Nights horror icon, like the main icon is Jack the Clown, which basically one of the tagline is that you don't know Jack. But it's a crazy clown, of course, ironically, that basically runs the whole thing. And it's pretty crazy at this point that it's just seeing how much of the that whole events came out, if anything, I want to say. But it's one of the really cool thing I would highly recommend. I'll probably put it in the description of like a playlist of the Halloween Horror Nights like history at this point, because someone like really did a really amazing in-depth details of it, that I always like to kind of like go back to like watching sometimes here and there, especially when he does like reviews on the current like years of Halloween Horror Nights. I don't know if he has done anything recently, but it's a really cool channel. He also does like other like a different type of like defunct areas, like maybe amusement parks, freaking rides and stuff like that to history. And it's really cool. Like other than Defunct Land is such a good one for another like stories and stuff like that too. Which I'm so excited for his newest project, which is I think the second part of the animatronics like thing of the project, which I think we talked about before, which was like a 3 hour part one of nothing but the basics of animatronics and the creation of it too as well. I'll definitely put that in the link too. This one it's a really really good one. But anyway, it's Halloween Horror Nights been so pretty cool to just to check out, just to watch and everything like that too as well. That it's been so hard this year of just trying not to watch any Horror Nights freaking teaser or anything from this year's, and it's even worse too because I'm literally going at the very peak of Halloween. I'm going and it's very literally I have a little bit more than a month till I go to it. And it's frustrating too as well because I want to freaking see some of these freaking stuff that they have. I already took peeks of like the items, meals, specialty meals that they have on there, as well as some of the like of course like I didn't take a peek at the houses, but of course they announced the houses that's gonna be there. But like the meal, like the drinks and stuff like that too. Like one of them is a Radaway for the Fallout universe. It's a mocktail. So there's no alcohol in it, so I'll definitely will be trying that out, if anything, because also then it comes in like a Radaway bag, which is pretty cool. So I'll be taking that. Hopefully I can bring it back on the plane at this point too as well. But I'll be definitely be getting it on this probably like by the time this is released, I'll probably I already have my tickets and stuff like that too as well. So I'll be already almost to it. I already got my hotel like basically checked out, or like not checked out but reserved at this point, so I need to put money into my card for that. But it's Halloween Horror Nights is a really cool thing. And what's even cool too, that they have their own cup too, like Coke Zero freestyle Coke cup, that if you buy it, it will definitely of course be like $12 to $15-$20, but you do get free refills throughout the whole day for it. And if you do take it the next day, if you do go the next day, you'll get a discounted price for that Coke Zero too as well. So I'll definitely be getting that because I definitely will be drinking a lot of. Hopefully, I won't be taking a piss. Hopefully, I won't piss my pants at this point too with some of the stuff on there. But yeah, I'll definitely be trying to record as much as I can for the trip for that one, and that is one of the exciting things I'm so excited about, is just being at Halloween Horror Nights for the very first time, trying to get products from it, at least to know, maybe a shirt, if not another poster again too as well. And maybe a lanyard too, because I'm trying to get the express pass too as well for it. But other than that, another thing I'm so excited for too is going back to Disneyland for the fourth time too as well. Actually, let's rewind that back. I'm excited. Actually, no. Sorry. I'm excited to go back to Disneyland for the very fourth time. And it's also what's even exciting too, because it's right now it's their 70th anniversary, 70, that they've been open since they've been open. And I want to at least get somebody that commemorates that I was there on the 70th anniversary. And it's crazy to think how old this place is at this point, that I only been here for 30 years, and this thing, it's 40 years before I was born that it was basically made at this point. And I've seen so many videos, so many documentaries about the making of Disneyland from the very humble beginnings to when it first started. And it's crazy to think that like Disneyland was kind of, I want to say, not the first amusement park, but maybe the first publicly used, how did I say it? It's one of the modern standard of amusement parks and the history of it. I want to say that started up the modern look of amusement parks, because there was amusement parks beforehand like Coney Island and stuff like that too as well, that there's like little stuff right here, but I think Disneyland kind of pioneered on the modern take of amusement parks that everybody starts going to, where it's like themed around a certain, as I said, a certain theme. Have like different areas that's like themed to like Tomorrowland or freaking Star Wars and freaking Frontierland and stuff like that too. All that, it's really cool just to kind of think about that. And I want to say I still remember, especially like some of the rides that we've been on, which I want to go on certain rides again too as well, just to see or just to have fun again. But there's some new ones or like not some new ones, but like some of the ones I didn't get to ride that I want to go ahead and check out at this point too as well. So basically that because my more excitement for Disneyland too as well is coming from like watching Iron Mouse's trip to Disneyland as well with Connor, and basically it's like seeing some of the stuff that they went through, and we're of course just like last year, but we're gonna be at a shorter time for California Adventures because we're gonna be flying in that day and going to California Adventures because we're gonna be flying in, checking into our hotel, which hopefully that we may be able to check in a little bit early, and be taking a little bit of rest, then going to California Adventures that day, and then once we come back, we're gonna take a full day of Disneyland at that point, and then yeah, so it's basically like the reverse of how we did it last year, which we which was it? We went. I flew in first, and that's when I did the whole going to the science center, went to check the space shuttle, and then like went back to my hotel to actually get it checked out. Then everybody else came in the next day, and everybody was tired because some of them flew over here, some of them actually drove here, which was insane because it's a 16 and 18 hour, depending on how you drive and how many stops you take, drive from where I live to California. And everybody, of course, was tired too because we went and ate at Bubba Gumps too, and I can see everybody was tired. But we had so much. I heard so many great stories too from them as well along the trip. Especially, I know we've been teasing it a while too as well. Like it's freaking Demetrius' Cold Yellow story, and whenever I do get him on the podcast, I need to tell him or need to ask him in details about that, because it's such a funny story of what's going on and how he tells it. And there's another story too of where like I don't know if we told it on the podcast before, where Demetrius went and I think we might have teased it a little bit that Josh went and like took Demetrius' keys from his thing, almost like a quick assassin, because Demetrius didn't know, and I guess Demetrius was gonna yell at Josh, and then saw that it was Josh, and he was just like, "Oh, you stupid bastard!" At that point too as well. So, but yeah, I figured like because he told me that story when we were leaving Universal, because I went and met up with Josh and those guys to eat at Maggiano's, which is still a great fucking Italian restaurant. It's so good. But like because I didn't get Halloween Horror Night tickets from that time because it was already sold out by the time I was trying to get tickets, which luckily I didn't because oh boy, this is a story right here. So the story about is that like I didn't get tickets, which luckily I didn't, because I was starting to really run short. I think I might have came home with only maybe like less than $20, I think I want to say. And that was really sketchy too as well, because of the fact that at the very end of the trip, I was hanging out with Brooklyn and Josh and his mom and their friend. And basically like we went to kind of some places around, and towards the end of the day, we had to go back to the Burbank airport to catch our ride. The one thing that I forgot to that freaking I think his Josh's mom and Josh forgot to keep forgetting about is that me, Brooklyn, and their friend didn't have the freaking what is that? The fast pass, technically, I guess, the where you don't need to go through the check-in line, or you like the security check through. Like you could just have your own line going through and stuff like that. So they had that one, but we didn't. So we were waiting in line. Next thing you know, pretty much like while we were waiting in line trying to hopefully get onto the plane, we started hearing our names getting called for a last call for that, which then a couple of other people in the line was on the same plane as we were that we were trying to get through. Everybody else got through pretty quickly. I had to boy, man, I was scared because I had to like take everything out or put everything in my backpack because I had like my pants or I had to take off my belt. I had to freaking take my shoes off, and I literally was literally literally after I went and put my suitcase, my freaking backpack through the scanner thing, went through and pretty much like I went and took everything out. I freaking went put my freaking shoe. I didn't even tie my shoes. I didn't even like I was carrying my bags and everything, running to the gate to get onto the plane. And the fact that like I was literally probably like maybe a good couple of minutes away from being stranded in Burbank Airport, which no money at all to get another plane ride. And dude, I was so sweating it at this point too as well. Like I was like, oh god, am I gonna make this flight? Am I gonna make this flight? Oh god, please let me make this flight. So I literally almost missed my flight and literally almost didn't come home that fucking night too as well. So, and boy, that would be a big that would have been a big something to ask my mom and my dad to like help me out with at that point too as well. So that's a story to know and not what to actually be at the airport early, which is why I always want to be at the airport early because I've always arrived at least like almost like an hour or two before our flight is leaving because I want to at least just be there, get through security, make sure everything's all good, and at least have some time to kind of just relax, decompress, make sure everything's all good at this point. If I need to buy something like maybe a snack or drink, definitely do not buy airport food because they're fucking expensive. And because I spent I think almost like 40 to 50 bucks over at the two airports I was at the last California trip, which was both in Albuquerque Sunport and the Oakland airport too as well. Because I at the Sunport I bought a bottle of water and just a sandwich because I was pretty hungry and wanted to get something. And at the Oakland airport, I went and bought boy man, I bought two postcards and a Southwest airline plushie, which I still have to this day, and the burrito too as well, which was pretty good size. It actually filled me up too as well. But boy, I think maybe within those two airports, I think I spent like maybe 60 bucks, which also then didn't help too. Later on that day, when I went to the science center, I spent another like maybe 30 to 40 bucks too as well on the t-shirt, which oh fuck, I don't even know where that t-shirt's at too. Fuck, I haven't seen that t-shirt in a while. I'm gonna have to try to look for it, but it's a t-shirt of the exoskeleton of the or wireframe look of the space shuttle Endeavor, and a poster too as well, or two posters and a postcard I think too as well, of the space shuttle and the resting place where it was temporarily at, as well as the flyover when it was on the Boeing plane that or the space shuttle transporter plane that usually does, and it flies over the science center as well as the Coliseum too as well, that the USC play in, and when the Rams and Raiders used to play in too there as well, when they used to be called the LA Rams or LA Raiders. Yeah, it's freaking what was I on? I can't remember. I know there was a story. Oh, yeah, that's right. Let's see. Going back to Universal, I'm still sad that I didn't get to. Yeah, I was literally running low on money at that point that I barely came home, as I said, with the money and stuff like that too. But this year I'll definitely be like saving at least one paycheck at least at this point, so I won't be too empty-handed at this point. I'll already be prepared at this point. And basically, I want to like get certain stuff, as well as like I want to get certain souvenirs for a couple people I want to, at least, that I really am grateful for. But it's also then this trip also makes me want to like be happy to be going to Universal for a second time too as well, because I'm sure there's certain rides I haven't been on too as well that I want to check out. And of course, as like with the other park, I want to go check again. Like definitely, I want to check out the Mummy ride again. I want to check out Jurassic Park again. Transformers was okay. We are gonna go be checking out the Nintendo World, because last time we were there, it was basically being built, or it was starting to be built at that point. So we see the facade and everything too as well, still being built. And basically, like now we're gonna be there when it's fully open. Which also then a new ride came out, which is the Donkey Kong ride. So that one's gonna be cool to check out too as well. So that just so many stuff that I want to check out. That's gonna be so cool, and I just can't wait to be back at Universal for the second time and being at the Halloween Horror Nights for the very first time too as well. So if I don't come back or if I die a heart attack right there, I mean, well, fuck. That's all I gotta say. Because I freaking well shit. I just hope I don't piss or shit myself. That's the one thing I'm more worried about is getting so scared that I shit or piss myself at that point. Because I need to probably bring another pair of underwear at that point too as well, and throw the one that I just shat into. So, holy fuck, dude. But I mean, as I said, like I can't wait to go to Disneyland for the fourth time too as well. And as I said, 70th anniversary because there's certain stuff that I want to go check out. And basically I've wanted to check out certain rides again. Like Space Mountain was always pretty cool. I think I've been on Space Mountain 3 times, I want to say. If we do go on this one, it'll be my third time because I went once as when I was in the 8th grade when I went there, and then I went last time again on that trip. And if we go on this one, this will be the third time there. I didn't go on my first time because the first time I was taken at Disneyland was when I was only a couple months old. So I didn't go on most rides, maybe only the merry-go-round, I want to say. And I think we have pictures of me on the merry-go-round with my dad or my mom. I can't remember who. I do want to like there's like certain rides I want to just go back on, which is like Pirates of the Caribbean is such a classic I want to go on. Haunted Mansion is another classic one because that one has the Nightmare Before Christmas facade on there too as well. Definitely the Rebels Escape. Oh, was it the Star Wars one? Not the Millennium Falcon one, but the other one, the bigger one. That's pretty cool right there. Luckily, I don't know if it'll be open up back in time, but Splash Mountain or Tiana's Bayou Adventure is closed, so that one we don't have to worry about at that point. But I don't know what other rides we will be. I don't know like what we would be even going on the rides though too as well. So it's a whole stuff that there's so many rides that we still haven't checked out too as well. So I don't know if I even want to go on Small World though. That's one thing I don't know if I want to go on a Small World. But anyway, that one's definitely gonna be going because I know there's still so many of the parks that we haven't seen at all. And then also the fact too that like we're also gonna be going to California Adventures, and that one we went on a couple of rides, but not a lot. But that one, there's one ride I definitely want to go on, which is there's definitely the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, especially after the switch over. Cars ride, I want to go again. That was pretty cool. And Credit Coaster definitely want to go again. But as I said, that one is going to be a late day trip entrance to it too as well. Just because of the fact that, as I said, we're going to be flying in that morning, going to the hotel, taking a rest for maybe an hour or two. I don't know how long, because I know we're all going to be tired because we're going to be getting to the airport pretty early because I think our first flight's at 5 a.m. I just had to check the whiteboard right now. But yeah, our first flight's at 5 a.m. And we won't be getting there until about 9 because we have a layover in Denver. So, but we definitely will be going on to the at the hotel, hopefully getting there a little bit early, probably maybe an hour or hour and a half, depending on traffic from our airport that we're landing there to our hotel. Which is a funny thing too, because I was looking at the hotel and basically I saw that we're like 4 miles away from Knott's Berry Farm, which I'm surprised because I didn't know it was that Knott's Berry Farm was that close to Disneyland. Because from our hotel, it's going up north is Knott's Berry Farm, and then of course there's a Soak City, USA, and then medieval times there too, which I still never been there. I've always seen it every time I pass going to Knott's Berry Farm area, but I never actually seen it at that point. But going more east is going to Anaheim and where Disneyland is at, which is luckily that our from our hotel is literally just straight down the street at only 8 miles down the street, like going straight away towards Disneyland. So that's pretty surprising. And also thank you, Lacey, for finding a hotel with breakfast, continental breakfast, because that's gonna help out a lot in the morning, so we don't have to worry about like freaking like getting food at the so early on, and we could just already be full, tummy full, and stuff like that too. But it's definitely gonna be so much fun at that point, and it's just gonna be like I'm just so excited to go to freaking just to have fun with friends and just enjoy the time I have with them at this point, because it's kind of like times feel like it's going by faster and faster the more older we get, which is kind of hard to think, especially when certain days where it seems like it goes by a little bit slow, but yet also then certain time of the week it goes by super fast that you're wondering like, damn, is it already like that day already, or is it already Friday at this point? Like it's kind of hard to like think about the time that passed by already, because it's already I'm already like surprised that it's already almost towards the end of 2025. We're already in the holiday season of 2025 with Halloween literally right going on right now in the parks, and then literally right when October ends, freaking Christmas time is gonna happen, and it's gonna be the busiest time for everybody trying to find time to hang out, and then like everybody has their own life going on too as well. That kind of have to like just basically like treasure the time that you have with your friends, your family, with whatever time you can have at this point, because you never know what's gonna happen at this point, and it's just kind of hard to crazy to think about at this point. And it's I'll tell you though, like one of my original plans for this trip, I originally wanted my brother and my mom to join in, and sadly that they couldn't join because of the how much like we're already gonna be like I'm already like spending a lot of money already trying to get tickets and stuff like that too, just for myself, but adding both because my mom's is a little bit like kind of she I want to say not doing well is not the appropriate one, but she's in a lot of pain to the point where it's kind of debilitating to her able to like have like an outgoing life, or kind of being able to like enjoy her life at this point, because her pain kind of like cripples her to the point where like she can't really much do much of anything, and she hasn't been back to California since my uncle passed away, and that one she couldn't really much enjoy it at all either. So I've been wanting to take her back to at least able to be back in California, which could be her last time at this point. You never know, especially with how her pancreatitis has been going too as well. So she has a very severe pancreatitis. So it's the one thing I've been wanting to do, kind of at least like have her enjoy, because she grew up in California. She's more closely attached to it at this point, and basically I want her to enjoy at least being able to be back there for at least for one more time if she's able to, before anything might happen to her at this point. And able to, and I kind of do want to record some like stories from her too as well, that of like her past of going through the time of because I do remember one time when I think me and her were getting my grandma her medicines at one point, and we decided to take a tour around LA, and she told me all the spots that she was at where she hang out with and everything, like even certain like stuff like she oh yeah, I remember this part, or I remember this part of the town like where you seen certain people where they started and stuff like that too. And even like one of the cool things she told me, like when we were going on the overpass, like on the very top of the overpass, you could see like the warehouse district, and then she told me like she pointed at this one big gray building that you can see that they used to have like wrestling back in her time when she was a kid, and she saw Andre the Giant when they were wrestling in that area, and she said it was like the way how big he is, it's crazy, especially to a little girl, like when she was back when she saw him when my grandpa took her to as well. So it's just crazy. Like I that's one of the things I wanted to at least try to do at this point, and especially with David too as well. I wanted to take him to at least back to Disneyland, but also I want to take him to Universal since he never's been there before either. So that's one of the things I want to at least try to do. sorry for kind of like getting a little bit low on that point. It's kind of just some of the things that like I kind of like been wanting to think about, or like I kind of just like it's one of the rarely things like I kind of will talk about at this point, if anything, because yeah, it's just kind of the few things that I kind of, this is the reason why I've like do certain things at that point, like why I wanted to get my mom and my brother to at least go out there too as well. So, but right now I at least have my hotel booked. I'm almost like basically trying to do a lot more savings at this point, and basically just trying to get as much as I can so I can just enjoy this vacation, because especially after the year I've been having with both work and personal life, that I've been wanting to just enjoy myself, don't have a care in the world, and kind of just really enjoy myself, because it's, as I said before, it's kind of like very few times where I can easily just relax, not think of anything. Cause I'll admit though, the last time I was at California, during Disney, when we were at Disneyland, I did get the whatchamacallit, like my car, or the car that we had before, it was a red almost like a SUV kind of van, kind of got like towed away because because we didn't get payments on it, and which we didn't know until very last minute, like the month before, which kind of sucked at that point. So it got taken away by the time I think when after I came back. But also then too that like the fact that like my mom had to go to the hospital at that time too as well, when, or had to go to the ER for something too. So I was kind of a little worrying about that too towards the end of our Disneyland trip. So I'm hoping that nothing goes wrong at this point. Hoping that everything goes right. And yeah, so as I said, it's kind of like I just want to go on this trip just to de-stress, just to not really think about anything at this point, because I'm, if anything, I'm more of a worrywart about every single thing, which kind of like really tenses my body up at this point. But I've also want to really enjoy my time too as well, because as I said, I want to enjoy my time with my friends, because it's, that's probably the more probably the more fun I had, if anything, at that point too as well, just enjoying everybody's like time together, and just able to enjoy it and enjoy the stories that I've heard from them. Like, of course, as I said, freaking Code Yellow, and I freaking freaking Demetrius getting scooters. God, man, I swear that guy is, that whole fucking thing. He had so many stories at that point. But yeah, I just want to enjoy it at that point too, because who knows how long like we'll have these time together too as well. And plus, I just want to like also like just enjoy just kind of seeing the sights out there too, because it's a hard time for me to already like trying to get like money to like save up at this point too as well. Just trying to like I'm trying to save up a lot of stuff and just enjoy like able to go do my bucket list I've been wanting to do, because I've been as I said, I've been seeing like a lot of videos about amusement parks, like different stuff. And one of my bucket lists too as well is going to Florida to go check out Disney World and Universal Studios out there too as well. And the new, now the new Universal's World Universe, the new Universal park that's out there too as well. I do want to check that out. That's another bucket list I want to go to. But also then a big bucket list item I want to go to is go to Japan. And Japan's been always been one of the things that I've always thought was pretty cool to go to, just because like I've always really enjoyed anime, and I've enjoyed anime, I enjoyed the mangas, I enjoyed the culture that's over there. The girls are pretty cute too as well. Um Also then it's just like I just want to go out there to enjoy myself and actually see the sights and everything too as well, that I've seen through so many mangas, animes, and just through videos and stuff like that too, like how crazy it is. So, and hey, you never know. I may find somebody out there. You never know. Yeah. Hey, I mean, I heard they like Indians. Holy shit! What am I talking about at this point? Anyway, what the fuck? But yeah, that's a big bucket list for me. just to go out there, at least to go check things out. And that one, I definitely want to spend my time out there, like maybe at least a good 2 to 3 weeks. Like I want to spend just to just have fun out there. And basically, because this the last trip to California was about a week. This one's gonna be almost about a week too as well. And luckily that I spend another like 2 days after we come back just to relax. Because also then there is a event going on, which is the very first time I've seen it, is at the Rio Rancho Center. They're actually gonna be filming a live taping of Raw, which is the one thing I never expected to actually see. So if I do have any extra money on that time, and if Demetrius is down, I may want to have see if we can get tickets to that area, which would be pretty cool because that's also another bucket list item is to go to an actual taping of WWE, especially in this state too. It's being at such a small population that like it, I highly doubt that they'll ever, unless this one does really good. I highly doubt that they'll be coming back unless if we have a bigger stadium or something like, or like arena, if anything like that too as well. But yeah, that's the one thing I want to check out, if anything, if we do have enough money. If not, maybe try a payment plan too as well. But yeah, I'll definitely like end it here. Sorry for the kind of like the sombering like ending at this point. I'll definitely it's just the one of the few, like as you can see, like my brain process at this point, like going through each and every idea at this point that just comes up in my head as I keep talking and just kind of just thinking along the lines. But and you can, as I said, you can see just the process of the way it is. But thank you for listening to the Scaleless Podcast, episode 22. And hopefully that the next episode will have something a little bit more cheery. And if not, like see what other topics we'll be getting up to as well. And maybe doing a supplemental too as well. Maybe a top 5 of maybe sequels, top 5 or something. But maybe you might see it on a Saturday or something like that too as well. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. See you around. I'm not